Happy New Year! That's the intro.
That's the
Happy
intro.
New Year, guys, and welcome back to Turnabout Podcast for a second episode of Hot Takes.
Hot
Takes.
takes, not to be confused with the cold ones.
Yes, because we do have another series called Cold Takes, where we discuss random facts about games that came out like 20 years ago.
Yes,
exactly. Welcome back to Turnabout Podcast.
Happy 2022.
Yes, happy 2022. I am your host, the donkey that watched as Jesus was born. Yeah. I was there. I saw it all.
Did you look?
I did several times, and I wasn't caught because who would look at a donkey? I feel like if you stare at a donkey for too long, you're the weird one now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And who are you, bestie?
I subsequently am the donkey from Shrek.
We're brothers.
Or
from
descendant.
Mother.
I am your descendant.
Oh. Conspiracy theory, donkey from Shrek is the descendant of the donkey that watched as Jesus was born, which would explain so much. Why was he able to fuck that dragon? He has Jesus in his corner.
Wait.
Aris was too stunned to respond.
Aris was
the revelation.
Aris was way too stunned to respond because his mic was cut off.
His mic's mic?
His mic's mic was cut off. I think someone's trying to silence us. We're speaking facts.
As they should. We've discovered too much now.
And welcome back to Turnabout Podcast. So yeah.
And welcome back to Turnabout Podcast.
Absolutely welcome back. Just putting the right beginning and energy to the year.
Yes. Happy New Year. What does this year hold for us? Good things, I hope.
Gold.
Gold?
Yes.
Like actual gold?
Yes.
I hope so as well. Will we embark in a pirate adventure?
Maybe.
I hope so.
We'll see. But I see gold.
And I trust your vision.
I am.
You are. You are. Alright, so let's jump in.
Yeah.
Second case.
Spoilers?
Spoilers. If you haven't played DGS fully, spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers for DGS.
Yeah,
AKA,
and spoilers for case 1 and 2.
Yes, aka Ace Attorney Chronicles, the great Ace Attorney Chronicles. So, I have been stuck on this case since September.
Yeah.
And I have finished it, and I finished it on my flight back home for the holidays. So, we'll be talking about case 2. Or
yes.
the mystery of the speckled band.
Yes.
Or something like that.
I'm finding the names hard to remember, the cases.
Do you know, in our first hot take, we kept saying Jezebel? It was wrong.
She wasn't named Jezebel?
No, it was Giselle Brett. Or something like that.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know why. The lack of puns, maybe.
Let's be.
But even the name of the
let's be honest.
Trials,
the episode
cases.
name, the titles suck.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I like that they're trying to do something a bit different, but I'm finding it hard to retain.
So yeah, I felt a bit of peer pressure because Lucie moved along with the game. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I need to get this done for the sake of the podcast, if anything else. So I played
I
it.
love that our peer pressure is playing a game, whereas people our age is probably doing drugs.
Yes. Again, a game which I asked you to rate in terms of like the overall series, and you told me it would go somewhere in between Dual Destinies and Apollo Justice.
For now.
Okay. For
But
now,
I would like to mention for the record that I finished case 3. And as I'm moving along, I think that the last 2 cases might change my opinion drastically.
like
Because I can feel kind of a
better or
turn
worse?
taking. I think better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because in an anticlimactic turn of events, mine it's currently in my rating sitting at bottom. It's
Really?
look, as
Worse
bad
than Spirit of Justice?
as Spirit of Justice was, I never put it down. I did not for 1 second put that game down.
It was very addictive. I finished Spirit of Justice in a week on vacation. You're correct.
Storyteller, if you've tuned in into her podcast before, you might know that I played it in a single night. Like,
Yeah.
I did an all-nighter and I played it. So it's like, for me, the fact that I put it down for months is just testament enough that it should be in the bottom of my ranking, at least for now.
Yeah, because I mean, a game's purpose is to be entertaining.
Yes.
And to be, like, you want to be eager to play, so.
Not feel like a chore.
Yeah.
Um,
for your podcast.
I think in the last hot take, if I'm correct, I'm pretty sure you've mentioned that you think, or maybe it was while interviewing Yeston for our final episode of the year, you mentioned that you thought that it was made for a younger audience.
Yeah.
And I, at the beginning, was like, I didn't really understand that, or like not that I didn't agree, I didn't know why. But having finished the case, I fully agree. Like, I think, like, you're fully 100% right.
Yeah.
If we think about it, the first case of the first game, Turnabout, has a brutal murder, which is shown. He slaps her, like he smacks her on her head with the thinker. It might not be shown the moment he hits her might not be shown, but there's blood in the first 2 seconds of the game.
Yeah.
And then Larry goes on to say stuff like, she had a sugar daddy, Cindy Stone had a sugar daddy, wait till I get to heaven and I'll get my hands on her and shit like that. It wasn't for kids exactly. Like, if you're an adult, you're not gonna get bored. Like, there's references
Definitely.
for you. Whereas DGS, it's the second case. We're not shown any murder.
Yeah.
And it's just
we're not shown any blood. You're correct. We're not shown any blood.
No blood. And it's very juvenile.
Now that I think of it, like, look at almost all of the cases, all of the 2 first cases of any game. It always features pretty, like, violent images. Like, I'm thinking of the still in Turnabout and Reunion, where Maya comes out of the room, like, drenched in blood.
Yes.
Like, it's pretty intense. A bombing, like. And the thing is, I can pinpoint exactly when I was like, oh, this is made for kids. And that's what I wrote down the points I wanted to mention in this video, and it was, like, one of the first things I wrote. It's implied at one point that he died sleeping on a cat.
Yes.
And I was like, I had to put the console down for a second and be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it's not what we're used to murder-wise in the franchise. Like, we're used to gruesome murders, not someone sleeping on a cat.
Wait, let's actually discuss this because it is important and it is one of the stuff I wanted to mention. What did you think of Kazuma's death? Not specifically him tripping on a cat, just
Yeah.
in general, what did you think? Because we have received a comment on our last video about this.
Yeah.
Our last
What was
hot
the
take.
comment?
Okay, let me pull it up because I have to open Chrome.
I do feel bad because I was like, I hope we'll see less of Kazuma.
What?
You know, like in our last hot takes, I was like, Kazuma doesn't shut the fuck up.
Oh, well,
He should.
he has
he took it at
permanently
heart.
shut the fuck.
Yeah, exactly. I feel slightly responsible for his death.
Okay, so last time on our hot take, you hadn't yet played Case 2, and I was a bit ahead of you.
Yeah.
And at the end, I told you something happens right off the bat in the second case, and I don't think you'll like it. So on our last hot take, Exploding Pineapple said something happens. He quoted me. They quoted me. And they said, so you didn't see that coming? I kind of did, but the way it happened still surprised me. And then we exchanged a few comments, and I said, I thought because of Mia, they wouldn't repeat themselves, like it's already been done. What do you think on that?
So first of all, I didn't see it coming. I wouldn't have made those comments if I did. I apologize to Kazuma's family. But it shocked me to a point of disbelief. I was like, it didn't feel right for some reason. Because I feel like it had some, I don't know, I don't even because I played the first case for so long, but I did have really high hopes for Kazuma, and I thought he was a really fun character. And I don't know what they're gonna do with him, but with Mia, when she died, she was still present in the games because of channeling. And I don't think we're gonna see that with Kazuma.
No.
So it does feel like a bit of a throwaway character because it was, like, so far, for instance, I knew Kazuma's name before I knew Ryunosuke. Like,
Yeah.
he was just a very memorable person, I feel like.
Yeah.
And well written. Like, he was well rounded. And when you start a game, you need those kind of characters to kind of carry you.
Yeah.
And so it just felt like kind of a waste killing him.
Absolutely.
And I wasn't super satisfied. What do you think?
No, I fully agree. Just, I didn't share the sentiment you had from the first case. I thought I really liked Kazuma. Like, he was our cool best friend that had a katana in the courtroom. I was like, he's awesome. Like,
he was cool.
Whenever he speaks, whenever this man speaks, there's a wind that blows his headband.
That is true.
I just think, like, honestly, I'm kind of disappointed in Shu Takumi because you're starting this new game. You're putting in all these changes. It's DGS. It's like you're making this huge deal over, like, huge trials, huge cases. It's a different time period. And then you do the exact same thing, like with Mia.
Yeah.
But you also infantilize it. Like, he trips over a cat.
It just didn't feel like they respected his death almost. You know what I mean? Like, and just the whole murder. Like, that man died for nothing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it didn't have any relevancy, and I think it did, like, I don't know, it wasn't a great send-off. Oh, it was all accidental. It's disappointing because this feels like a plot device, whereas, like, Kazuma was actually a really cool character, which I wanted to see more of him.
Definitely. And just, for me, once again, having Ryunosuke be the defendant, and then just the whole thing at the end about, oh, I have to take over his honor, like me going to the UK, da 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 da. We know this. We know that he's
Yeah.
the protagonist. But even so, that's another hint, for me personally, that this game was made for a younger audience because it needs to explain everything in depth and it needs to be very vanilla. Like, oh,
Yeah.
don't worry, Renosuke is gonna like take over for him. And also, this is a bit unrelated, but I in the opening cutscene of the third case, I have started it. When they get out of the station in London, there were like carriage drivers and some like kids outside the station helping them with their bags. I
Yeah.
was half expecting the cat scene to be like these people from Japan came and like they're so naive because they haven't been here before and it's like a new completely new world that their bags are gonna get immediately stolen. Like the
Yeah,
kids
when
are
they're gonna
gonna
get
steal them.
scammed.
But everyone is so happy and like the driver is like, let me take you to the Supreme Court. Like he doesn't even question it. I'm like, this is not London. I've experienced
Have
British
you ever
people on a
been to the
daily.
UK? Yeah. No,
Um,
true.
British
And
people are
that
not
scene
like that.
was, and to tourists, like, no. And also, that scene was giving me very Professor Layton vibes,
Yes. I
which
know
is a
exactly
game
what
for,
you're
I
talking
think,
about.
younger people. You know what I
I
mean?
know exactly what you're talking about. Even though I haven't played it, I know exactly
Yeah.
what you're talking about. That's the whole vibe.
So we'll see. Uh, I don't know. I really hope it's gonna take a turn, and we still have the second game, so we'll
Yes.
see. But it does feel like it's for a much younger audience. It does.
When you first mentioned also the first case, can you believe? I just thought about this. Can you believe the second case is shorter than the first one?
Is it?
Probably.
It
It
probably
felt
or
that
the
way.
same length. Yeah, definitely. That's insane, and that shouldn't be that way. Like that's a good indicator of. But the thing is, like, what annoys me with that case, especially as I played the third one,
The
so I
first
feel like a
the
little
first one,
more.
you mean?
The
The second
second.
one.
Couldn't this case just be a cutscene? Just, oh no, we
Hmm.
found Kazuma dead. Oh no, now I have to take his
Yes.
responsibility. Like that could have easily been if it just this case feels a bit useless.
It was very underwhelming.
And it was just like, oh, we're gonna introduce you to some. It felt like a second, uh, like what's the first case called? You know what I mean? Like introduction when they teach you how to play the game.
Tutorial.
It felt like a second tutorial, but for a different
Hmm.
device, for like the whole detective thing. And so it's like, oh, we are now on to our second tutorial of the game. When are we actually going to start playing the game?
True. I felt like this case was once again, just like the first one, 90% explanations, 10% gameplay.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
10%. And it's starting to get very
Absolutely.
annoying.
It does
Um,
get better on case 3. Like, you get
Fair,
a little
but
more playing.
I can't not play. It's a game. I can't not play
Yes.
it. You're right about it feeling very much like a small interlude. Like, at the same time, I feel like it was such a wasted opportunity. Like, you could have done wonders with Kazuma. You could have done wonders with a location as cool as a cruise. We can
That's one of my talking points.
Okay. It's just
It's
the two
such a cool
cabins.
place. And we see 2 locations. We see so little of it. Show me the captain thing with like the big thing that spins. Desperate. This is the sound of a desperate woman. But it's true, like it's so frustrating.
It's very frustrating. It's actually very frustrating. I felt cheated. I felt very much cheated of a good cruise case. Like,
Yes.
incorporate the sea into the case. 1,000,000%. Um, I don't know. It was just three locations, three
Yeah.
characters.
It's very disappointing.
Yeah. Um, do you want to take characters? Do you want to actually?
Sure.
Do you want to discuss the main ones first? Because this is the episode where we meet Herlock, but also the episode where we talk with Susato.
Yeah, let's do Susanna and Sherlock.
Okay.
Oh, Herlock.
Herlock.
Sholmes. Uh, I will say this. I was pleasantly surprised with Susato.
Mm,
Because I was like expecting her to be a full-on Maya.
yeah.
But she was different.
She was. Yeah.
She's like really different. She's like kind of a nerd. Like very studious and on the rules and a bit of a Hermione Granger, and I like that.
Same.
And she beat us up. I like that. I like the animation of her. It was used a bit too much, especially because the animation is so slow that I was like, okay, I get it. She does the Susato takedown. Please release us. But I was pleasantly surprised.
Yes. Susato I really liked as well. Another we're like finally talking about something that we like, and I kind of want to bitch again, but
Okay, go for it.
when you said that they use the animation way too many times and it's so slow, I felt like trapped, and like I felt trapped playing it. Like I want it to be faster. And I don't know
Yeah.
if it's because I'm impatient, but at the beginning, starting this game, I was like, okay, I'm so excited for DGS. Finally, also there's gonna be new content for the podcast. And I turned off the text skip option. So on my flight back, many months after I played DGS initially, I turned
Yeah.
off text. I turned on the option to skip the text. It made a
Yeah.
big difference in my gameplay.
Do you just like press B and
It
it's
loads
really
the
quick?
text. It's just so slow, and the like.
I do the same thing. Because sometimes like I know exactly where they're about. Like it's like, oh, we need to show something to prove that she did like, and I'm like, oh, okay, I know which evidence it is, and then they're gonna take for 20 minutes about giving me clues on what it is, so I just
Yeah,
skip it.
yeah.
But yeah, I agree.
Even though there was a part where I was a bit annoyed and stuck.
Ah,
Yes, the first turnabout.
ta ta
I
ta.
was like, oh, this is child's play. Da 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 da. They're like pointing
Yeah.
out everything, and then I got stuck and lost so many times. There's this picture of Kazuma, and he's like, her look is like, if he had genuinely tripped and fallen down, then what is the weird thing in this picture? And I was like,
Oh,
it's literally a picture of his back and his head. What do you want me to say? And like,
what was it? Was it the writing on the floor?
no, I pressed everything. And in the end, I pressed like his hand randomly. And it was like, if he had
Oh, it
fallen,
was clenched.
yes, he wouldn't have
Yeah,
had his hand in like his fist closed. I was like, this is
yeah.
so stupid.
It is.
Um, but yeah, back to the original discussion. I really like
Susato.
Susato. I fell in love with her when she did the Susato takedown the first time,
Yeah,
not the 1,000,000th time. But
yeah.
I'm happy that she's not a clone. You're right, and we've never had this kind of assistant. I think
Yeah, sidekick. And I don't know, I think it's gonna give some very interesting dynamics.
she kind of
It's
reminds me of
almost
Emma.
like I was gonna say it's almost like we had a young Mia.
Mm,
Like two very female driven on
I
intelligence
can
that
see
I think
that.
could really work. Yeah.
What did you think about Herlock?
one of my points that I wrote down is Herlock an idiot? And that's a genuine question. Like, because the man got all of his deduction wrong.
Yeah.
And then waited for us to pick up the slack. And it was like, ha! This was my plan all along. But at the same time, he's a respected detective, and he seems to know, like, he is right sometimes. So I'm very confused about what they were trying to tell us about Herlock.
No shit. Herlock.
Yes.
Um,
I, however, just before giving you the floor, would like to say that I burst out laughing at some of his, like, when he was hanging by a door or something. Like,
yeah.
he's very fun. It's a fun character, kind of unhinged.
I spoke with Ironic Snap today.
Yeah.
And I told him we'd be recording this. And he was like, I'm sure I'm gonna disagree. Because I mentioned that I'm gonna rip Herlock to shreds. And he was like, I was like, why? And he was like, Aris, this is genuinely my favorite part of the game. Like Herlock.
Herlock?
Yeah. And ooh, I have a bunch of thoughts on that.
You have the floor.
I mean, respect.
Please enlighten us.
Look, he's personally, I think it's just because, like, the way me and you are, like, when a fucking idiot comes along and makes everything wrong and then we fix it and then he gets credit for it, I was sure right away, oh, this is not gonna sit well with Lucie. 1,000,000%.
I was like, what is this? What is this?
Yeah. What the hell?
Outraged. Like, and it's not even addressed that he's still your stuff.
No,
like,
and everyone apparently knows him.
And we're like a team. And at the end we're like, we did this together. What did you do, Herlock Shams? Nothing. It was all us. More specifically me.
Are babysitting you.
We are babysitting. And he's like a renowned detective.
A man-child.
Just hanging by doors and clinging onto, like, his posture sometimes. Incredible.
And just... it just prolonged the case even more. And once again, just like with the first case, I mean, this is a bit unrelated to Herlock, but just like with the first case, the cop-outs were so annoying. Like, there's a deduction on Kazuma tripping on the cat. So we correct that, and then, oh, Susato thinks that this sounds suspicious. So we do it again, and it turns out, oh, she's lying. And then it's a revelation that everyone on the boat was drunk. And so...
that is so easy.
It's all's well that ends well, or whatever the fuck. And then, surprise, there's just one more, like, final twist. And it's that her earring was missing. So then there's more discussion on that. I was like, when does this finish? Yeah. I was thinking, I was harking back, I was recalling other Ace Attorney cases, and I was thinking, like, it's an overall mystery, and you slowly unwrap it. And sometimes there might be a cop-out. Like, you believe something wrong, and then it's corrected by the end. But never have we had 2 cases in a row where there's, like, multiple cop-outs, where it's like, oh, no, that's wrong. You spent literally fucking 50 minutes reading fucking dialogue, which is so long-winded just to be proven wrong and then having to do it again.
Definitely, because, like, when the snake thing happened, I was like, oh, it makes sense. There was, like, a whistling, and I was like, oh, I like that, sure. And also, I thought I was thinking, oh, there's, like, a really famous Herlock Shams, like, story where the murder is an animal. So maybe they're gonna do that, like, pay homage to it. And then that was all for nothing. And it was like, it makes me feel like a fucking idiot for believing what the story is telling me,
Yeah.
because 2 seconds later, oh, it was actually a cat, and he tripped on it. Wait, he didn't trip on it, but the cat was there, and he tripped on the cat, and then he got into a fight. It was just like, it's
When there's so many twists, it becomes
yeah,
exhausting.
and a bit ridiculous, like
Yes.
foolish. Which is
Which
sad because we're talking about Kazuma's death.
and
Could
it
you
harks back to
imagine?
the younger audience.
Yes, but could you imagine if like it was implied during Mia's trial that she stepped on a
I was
cat?
thinking the exact same thing, actually.
Like, it would be insane, rightfully so.
I don't know. I feel bad for not liking it, but at the same time, I fucking hate it.
I haven't. So I don't know if that's a spoiler or not, but I haven't seen. I'm just gonna tell you, I haven't seen Sholmes back.
Oh,
So maybe our opinion. He's not in case 3
at all?
at all.
Hmm.
So maybe our opinion of him will change as we go along. But for now, I'm very confused by him. I do find him funny, and he's like, oh, they're trying something new, but I don't like this gameplay when he steals our ideas.
See, as much as I don't like the character, I mean, I don't want to jump to a final say and say, oh, I hate him, da 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 da. But the first impression, I wasn't impressed.
Yeah.
I was annoyed actually, but I have to admit, deduction is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, new thing in DGS.
I really liked it
By
too.
far and
It was
away.
like, so there's new gameplay introduced in case 3,
Is it the
which is
jury?
insane. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is insane when you think about it, like, oh, we have a new tutorial, kinda? Like,
Again?
we shouldn't. I mean, it's not a tutorial, but it's crazy that you still have gameplay introduced in case 3. I mean,
Yeah.
we should be done by this point. But I think all of the new gameplay is really fun. And deduction is. It was really good.
I love
Like,
deduction.
the first one was like where you had to show her blonde hair sticking out. I love that it was like such a big moment.
Yeah.
Like, it was really, really fun.
I really liked it. I liked the how it was really cartoony, like Renosuke
Yeah.
and Herlock twirling around, snapping their fingers, like the lights, everything, the effects.
Yeah.
It was so good, and it felt like Mad Libs, like correcting the wrong. It was like getting like you're the teacher and you're getting Herlock's test, and you have to correct the blank, the blank
Yes.
that he like completed wrong. I thought it was excellent. Like I had a lot of fun doing it, but it was just it was the best part of the case for me. Like the rest just
Definitely.
it the rest was just too much. Like too much but at the same time just too little.
Yes.
When
So
you
far, we have that and our girl that we like, the Susato.
yeah, when you
That's
said the Herlock Sherlock case that the culprit is an animal, is it the Hounds of the Baskerville?
no. It's the one where a woman and her daughter were like decapitated
Oh.
in their house.
The Hounds of the Baskerville or whatever the fuck it's called is actually they stole that title for the final case of the game.
I saw that. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? I
Yeah,
don't
no
know if
wonder
it's
Shu
like,
Takumi you got fucking copyrighted and
yeah, stole everything. But I'm excited to see what they'll do.
same. Same. It looks promising actually. Like
Yeah.
I'm still being slightly optimistic, as much as it doesn't sound like it. What else did you like from the case? Nothing.
Uh, I do have a couple of things written down. Wait. Oh no, I don't have anything else. Uh, what did I like? I liked. I feel like I understood Ryunosuke a little better.
Mm,
Like he was a little more fleshed out. And but also do believe that some part of it is because he didn't have Kazuma to like turn to, so he had to do stuff. So I enjoyed that. Susanoo was great. The Deductions were cool. I think that I really liked the animation, and I think everybody's like the character design was really good. Like the costume change before the ballerina revealed her true self was
Yeah.
cool. Um, the sailor, and it was revealed later that there was like snakes wrapping around like along his face. I like that. Um, oh, I liked seeing that detective again.
Hosonaga, yeah.
Yeah,
What's
I
his
liked
name?
him.
Hosonaga?
When
Hosonaga.
he like we ask him to help us, and he comes back, and he got like beaten up.
Yeah.
I was laughing. There are some genuinely funny moments.
I really like Hosonaga.
I really like him as
I
well.
hope that's his name.
Wait, let me check.
Hosonaga-san. I think I googled what it means.
Oh, Sonaga, yeah.
Okay.
So I like his presence.
Same.
He gives me more and more Dwight Schrute energy. We've discussed this before, but I feel like we were kind of leaving the usual tropes of the characters, where like every assistant feels like Maya, and every detective feels kind of like a weird version of Gumshoe. I mean, not really, but like I like that they're trying new character tropes. Like Herlock and Hosonaga feels like more unhinged bad childs in their 40s. And I liked seeing that. I had fun.
I liked how there were two detectives as well.
Yeah.
That was something new. I really like him. Once again, the coughing and the blood is not explained, which got under my nerves. I want to know. But other than that, yeah, you're right. His presence is very welcome.
Yeah.
He's not as goofy as Herlock, which I really appreciate because his dialogue is short and concise. But at the same time, he's not boring. Like his funny,
Definitely.
but in a non-deliberate way.
Yes. It's like he's not trying to. He's
No.
not comic relief. His life is a tragedy.
And I think the writers didn't intend that either. It's just us.
Are we monsters? Perhaps, but I really like him.
I think it's just us not taking the game seriously, or at least not falling for its tricks and gimmicks to laugh at fucking, I don't know, the Susato takedown. I was like, okay, sure. Yeah. And we laugh at this idiot who strikes the pose. They're like this.
Yes. I love this so much.
I don't know.
And I really like the whole undercover thing.
I liked it as well. I like how his new getup was a sailor.
I liked it as well.
I wasn't...
Is there anything you liked?
The characters, okay. The characters, yeah. I wasn't that impressed. The ballerina easily got on my nerves. Pavlova, or whatever her name was.
Yeah.
But I did have, and you know this already, have
I know what you're gonna say.
Raging boner for beef stroganoff. They're just something about men in uniforms I can't get over. But
did you mention it in Hot Takes 1?
I said,
you were like, everybody's hot in this case, I think.
Yeah, maybe I exaggerated a bit because no one else is hot, but...
Beef stroganoff?
What? A beefy, strong man who has a crop top and a long snake? What else do you want me to say?
Oh my god. And he does have a long snake.
But other than his looks, he, just like the ballerina, was very monotone, very flatline.
Yeah.
It was all of the same.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the stuff, even even though even though they spend 4 like boxes of dialogue to say a single thing which can be said in 2 words, it's not bad. It's not bad enough they do that. They have to repeat themselves a million times. Like, I love
Yeah.
Hosonaga, as we've discussed, but he said the thing about, oh, I feel bad because I was meant to protect Kazuma like fucking 6 times or something. I don't know. It's either made for children or idiots. Like, I don't like being treated as an idiot by a writer. I hate that.
Yeah. You don't like having your intelligence questioned.
Like, why do
Like,
you have to
insulted.
repeat? Why do you have to repeat yourself a million times? Like Susato
Yes.
takedown, Susato suspecting Ryanosuke. Like, right at the end, the whole making a big deal out of Ryanosuke, like studying to become a lawyer and taking over for Kazuma. We know.
Yeah. They're insulting our intelligence. Like, we can piece it together pretty quickly. But also, I had some beef with that. At the same time, they spent so much time talking, and I don't know if it was because I passed a lot of dialogues,
Mm.
but there was an important information I think I missed. When was. Did you understand from the first case that Ryotsuko wasn't a lawyer? I thought they were studying the same thing. It's never mentioned what he did study at university, so I just assumed he was studying law generally, but not trying to be a lawyer. But then they make a big deal out of him not being like a lawyer, so I'm like,
Um,
huh?
I thought he was. It caught me off guard as well. I thought he was a lawyer, but I was thinking, oh, it's my own mistake. Like, I didn't pay attention enough.
I don't think so.
Maybe. Then why would he
I
be like? Why would he be allowed to stand in court?
I think he didn't like study law, but I don't think they mentioned what he was studying like apart from that. I think that's on them that they didn't make it clear enough. And I'm pissed because that was like that could have been made so much clearer. Like, oh, I'm studying to be a doctor. No questions asked. I would have
Yeah.
bought it.
We haven't discussed another big thing, which is this case doesn't have a court proceeding.
Yes.
What did you think?
That's
No?
what I think.
Hmm.
I wanted it to have some because I think that it's important for a game to establish the structure in the first few cases. Can I spoil something about the third case?
Yeah.
It's all court proceedings.
There's no investigation.
No. So it's like
But I'm playing it now and there is an investigation.
it's not like a murder investigation.
Oh. Wait,
You
there's
know,
no
like you're
murder?
sent. No, but you're sent directly to the trial. You don't get to investigate the crime scene. So it's like
When are we gonna get
we don't
both?
have. Yeah, on the fourth case of the game, the penultimate case, like that's really late in the game. So my
I
thought, and I was,
uh,
my thought was like
okay,
making
can I
it
spoil something for
easily.
you?
Yes.
Not spoil, but I remember in September when I was talking with Ironic Snap again about the game, he said that the transition between 4 and 5 is very abrupt. Like, you're
Oh.
like almost you don't notice, but it ends abruptly and then it starts immediately at 5. So the way you said it now, I'm
Oh.
feeling like 4 is gonna be only
Short.
investigation and 5 is gonna be its court.
Oh. If they do that, oh my god, I'm gonna kill them. Because when are we gonna have a real like investigation trial? But once again,
I don't think we're
it's
in
a
Kansas
different
anymore,
game.
bitch.
We are far out of Kansas. But like, look, what if a little suggestion. You remove that case entirely, which doesn't serve any purpose other than we meet Herlock and Kazuma is dead. Replace that by a cutscene and merge the second and third, and you do investigation and trial, investigation and trial. Like this case felt a bit useless to me.
It was very much an interlude. Very
Yeah.
much.
Oh, and don't get me started on those escapades. They suck. I said that like as a brooding 3-year-old. They suck. I mean, they don't suck, but it's like...
No, baby.
Jesus
They
Christ.
do. They do suck.
Why are you trying to get out of
I've
me?
only played 2, and why is there not an escapade between 2 and 3? I started 3 and I was like, oh, literally,
Yeah.
we're not gonna get a glimpse into Renosuke's training. We don't know where Herlock is. They just like
that would have been interesting.
Arrive at London, like, and go straight to discount Damon Gunther. I'm like, the fuck?
Yes.
Who is very hot.
But he is discount David Gunt.
He is discount Damon Gunt. But I'm half wishing he's gonna use that pocket watch as an
On you?
Yes, after he uses it on him. I'm going to bleep that out. But yeah, the fact that it's only court, I don't know. I wasn't that mad at the fact that it wasn't a trial because I was like, oh, they're trying new stuff out. But
yeah,
it felt underwhelming because the investigation wasn't stellar. Like if you're just gonna do single investigation, then make it more than special. And they didn't.
And they didn't.
They didn't. They didn't. It's the truth. It's the absolute
To be fair,
truth.
For their defense, it would make sense that there wouldn't be a trial because of the context.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're at sea, so that makes sense. And I wasn't that shocked about there being no investigation for case 3. Like, it works in the context for both cases. It's just frustrating to have 2 cases back to back who are kind of missing something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it just feels a bit frustrating.
It was.
But it works in the context of each case, but like, ugh.
I don't know. I'm kind of pissed off now that you told me that 3 doesn't have a...
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. It's not your fault, obviously. But, yeah, for me it was an underwhelming case. Like, the characters didn't stand out. We never got, like, the storyline of that runaway Russian criminal resolved.
That's true. I was expecting that the whole time. I was like, he's gonna be the villain.
Yeah, same.
It
never happened.
He's gonna come out. But maybe like happen later.
The ballerina,
but I doubt it.
Was annoying, honestly.
Yeah.
Like when she was like, "Get out of my room! You can't see my pet." Like, bitch, I know it was a fucking. I knew it had to do something with a snake. I was pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then
there was like also. She left, and it's never really explained why. Like, I feel like it could have, if it wasn't intended for children, as we suspect, I feel like it could have been an interesting turn. Like, oh, maybe someone tried to propose to her, and like something shady happened. But it felt very sugar-coated, so it wasn't that interesting.
But also, like, the stolen tiara is never addressed.
True. What did you just? She was like, "It's a gift from whom?" And why are you running away? Like, it feels weird.
It felt very weird, and like, they spend a lot of time, like, trying to twist the narrative and do these cop-outs we've discussed. And then, in a single dialogue segment, it's like, oh, the crew just dragged everyone. Like, what if someone had not eaten? What if someone was pooping at the time? Like, what the fuck?
That's true.
Like, that's not how it works.
this case feels cartoonish. And it's a shame that it's the case that explains the death of your best friend. Like, if he was a random person, it's like, sure, but it just feels disrespectful to Kazuma. They drugged everybody to, like, enter ballerina with a cat on the boat, and
Yeah,
everybody ate the chicken,
exactly.
and then the cat came in. Like,
if
it's a Scooby-Doo episode.
if you talk to Phoenix and he's like, why did you become a lawyer? He'll mention like his childhood, the class trial, Gregory Edgeworth, and then him stepping up after Mia's death. What does Ryanosuke have to say? There was a cat. There was a drugging incident.
And now I'm here. It's truly insane that the whole story starts because of a cat. That's true. That's why he's a lawyer. Ugh. That's what I think.
The fact that he wasn't even on his way to be a lawyer.
He was just a stowaway? What was he going to do there? You know, like, the story wouldn't have been this different if it was just like, oh, I'm studying law, but I'm not as good as Kazuma. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they need to overcomplicate things.
The more we analyze it, the more I hate it. It's the truth. It's the truth. I'm not gonna lie. It's the truth. I have many issues with this game. And it's just the second case. I've just finished the second case. I have many issues with it. But I have to say I'm happy I finished the second case. I'm happy I'm like playing it. Because even if I hate it, even if I dislike it, it's something to talk about, and the discussion is interesting. Like, it's interesting, especially when we compare, because it's not like we can say Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice sucked because Shu Takumi wasn't involved as a writer. It doesn't work here because Shu Takumi is very much the writer. And when you compare fucking the chicken was drugged from the entire ship crew and staff somehow was on board with this because they watched the ballerina dance when she was little and no one somehow left the crew for so many years. You compare that and the tripping over a cat to Ghost Trick, which also involves a cat.
True. But it's excellent.
How is that from the same writer?
That's true, and I'm getting more and more upset myself. Because, like, I'm thinking, at the same time, we shouldn't really hold it to, like, what I feel like what I'm annoyed the most, not the most, but what I'm annoyed at is the structure. And so I'm like, oh, I can't even, like, hold it to the same standard as the Ace Attorney because it's, like, a different franchise. I should treat it, like, completely different. But at the same time, even if you, like, come as a fresh player, it just doesn't make sense. They're gonna tell you there's like 5 different cases, and each case is a completely different structure. Like, structure is supposed to frame the story, and the story just doesn't have a frame right now. It's all over the place. Like, oh, here's an investigation, here's a trials that's a tutorial that lasts 7 hours, and now here's another trials that's completely without investigation. It's like, it relies on pre-established structure.
It's
because
very
of the
messy.
trials and the investigation, but it's like disrespected. So I really like it.
It's very messy. And you're right. You're very much right. Like, who is the sick individual? Just like with your science teacher who would play DGS on its own. Who are they? I want to know.
Who are they?
Like, you come in playing it.
Yeah.
After at least playing any Phoenix Wright game. Any. and just the structure, honey, this is not it.
Yeah.
This is not it. I'm sorry.
It's messy. It's very messy.
It's very messy. It's very chaotic. Very unhinged.
Perhaps this is like meant for children who haven't played any of it.
As time goes by, the evidence starts to pile, and I'm like thinking more and more that you're absolutely right. Like, it's for a younger
conspiracy
audience.
theory era.
Period.
You know?
It's for a younger audience.
It would make sense.
Stuff has to be said multiple times because children are young. There's no blood. There's no sex. It's all very vanilla, like very Disney book. Like, oh, Kazuma died. It's time for me to step up. Ha ha ha. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Literally, you're gonna get deported. Knowing the British, you're gonna get deported.
They're gonna give you full English love. Not gonna like it enough. And they'll kick your ass.
It was the beans.
Fake David God is gonna shove beans in our mouth. Is that what's gonna happen?
I thought you were gonna say something else.
You wish.
Yeah.
You kink downloaded. But yeah.
You have.
To be fair, we haven't finished the game. I do think there's a possibility that it takes a bit of a darker turn. And dare I say, I feel like it's starting to change with Case 3. I'm really excited for you to play Case 3. I feel like you'll like it a little more.
How would you describe it in one word?
Surprising.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. I was surprised by a lot of the elements.
Not us not liking this game. For shame.
But I feel like if people... What I'm really hoping for is that they're setting up little, like, mysteries in each cases. Like, oh, what about that Russian dude? And I really hope all of the strings are going to be tied by the end.
Oh, no.
Like a great ending.
They're probably not.
You don't think so?
I hope
so.
It was such a minor detail.
I don't know, but like, I feel like, I hope some of the things that are setting up are gonna have a purpose, and I feel like if people love this game, it might have a good resolve ending, a satisfying ending.
Okay. I'm just thinking, like, up to now, even the handling of the culprits is just like we never see a breakdown for the ballerina and beef stroganoff. Like, they're like, they apologize to Renosuke, and I'm like, they're villains. Giselle
You killed someone.
Got away with it. They got away with it. Like, it's very Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the villains can be pardoned.
To be fair, if what they're setting out to be is the law system is flawed and we need to fix this, I think this is a great show don't tell. Like, every single villain you've caught, like, is not gonna be, like, caught in the right way. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this feels like the dark age of the law. It does. And it did in Spirit of Justice when they told us a million times, but nothing happened.
Do you really think they're gonna point it out?
I hope so. That's the kind of thing I hope it's gonna be resolved at the end. But we are creative writing students. With high expectations.
I know you said you'd hate it, but I'm so hoping that the final villain is gonna be Giselle Brett. Like, I want her to come back with her fucking swan hat and be like...
You know what I'd like? we see her but without her mask, so we don't recognize her. And then it's like, oh, there was a reason to not show her face. She changed name, she changed outfit, but because we didn't see her face first. Like,
We could
I would
fix
like
this
that.
game. We could fix it so easily.
Capcom, hire us.
For the
Please.
1 millionth time.
Capcom would work for a very small wage. We'd live like rats in your office. You wouldn't even see us. But we do wonders.
Yes. So true. So true.
Bestie.
Have we... I think we've aired everything. Do you want
Let
to
me
mention
look at my
anything?
notes.
What about your closing statement, Bestie Sock?
I would just like to close it with one of the things I wrote down in my notes. It's, why did they take so long to get to the point? And that summarizes my feelings so far.
I mean...
But I will say that the third case is an improvement.
We knew this, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's the main issue we had with case 1, and it's still ongoing, which is very annoying.
Yeah.
Thank God for tech skip.
Thank God.
I don't know. I'm remaining optimistic. As I told you, even if we don't like it, I'm happy we're playing it because we can then shit on it through the podcast.
Hot Takes has been very fun so far.
Hot Takes, we've introduced a smaller episode. It's an hour long.
I'm not surprised because when we started, I was like, oh, we have a lot to talk about.
It is a full case. We did wait
Yeah.
out until we both finished. Maybe like if I start case 3 and don't finish it, we can do one in the middle.
Yeah, definitely.
So that it's
when
not...
do you think you'll continue case 3? Because I know you have a lot of your plate right now and you're playing Pokemon.
Yes, I did get Pokemon for Christmas.
Yes.
And I have been obsessing over it. Maybe like on my flight back to uni.
Yeah.
I'll continue.
All right.
I to be fair, I am very intrigued by the High Justice Minister. Like, I did play even after my flight when I got home.
That's good.
So maybe it's gonna be... I'm gonna finish it in less than September, October, November, December. 4 months. Case 2 took me 4 months.
That's insane. And you wouldn't have finished it if it wasn't for the podcast.
If it wasn't for you playing it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I was spinning in my bed some nights thinking, I can't do it. I can't.
You can't do it. I can't. You are stressing me to hell. I can't do it. I'm done.
Yeah. I understand the mental torture.
So?
What now?
Now...
I guess...
we end this very
R.I.P.
long...
Kazuma.
hot take. Like, just like Kazuma, let's put an end to this hot take.
Yes. For Kazuma.
Yeah.
What is your closing statement?
All jokes aside, very underwhelming case. Wasted potential for a major character death. Wasted potential for a very... an amazing, actually, like an amazing location.
Yeah.
Bland characters, bland murder, bland location, bland investigation. I appreciate Susato and Hosonaga for being there, and I'm hoping Rinosuke helps Herlock find him some personality.
Yeah.
Because he's missing it.
I think what you've said, and that is so true, Bestie, is just wasted potential.
Wasted potential.
This whole
Definitely.
case could be summarized by that. Wasted potential for Kazuma, wasted potential for Kazuma's death, wasted potential for the location, just wasted potential.
How can you base a case at sea and not show us the sea? Like, not even a window.
Not even a window, not even a man wearing a captain hat, just going back and forth on that big wheel. Just
Nothing.
so disappointing.
Nothing.
And the animation is really good. I think they could have had a lot of fun with it.
And deduction.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of upset. I'm kind of disappointed in Shu Takumi, really. But, yeah, I'm starting to think.
I still have hope.
I do. Same.
Yeah.
I do still have hope. Like, Hounds of the Baskerville, like, for you to rip it off, it has to be worth it. It has to be. But, yikes. Yeah. What else? I'm kind of miffed that Ryanosuke is, like, we complained during our last hot take that Ryanosuke lacks a personality. And now, to make matters worse, he's literally stepping into Kazuma's role and shadow. Like, he's stealing his life.
That's true.
It's true.
Like, what is really... Like, that's what annoys me about why we don't know what he wanted to be before the lawyer thing. Like you could have given him so much personality.
If Kazuma didn't die, what would Ryanosuke be doing right now?
What would become of you? What I did like about the escapades is that we get this whole, like, there's the whole, like, speech thing where Ryanosuke explained that he likes to speak fast, and so he entered those competitions. I was like, yeah, that brings a little more, like, personality to him. But what do you want to, like, what are your hopes and dreams? What drives you? Phoenix was driven by many things. There was the school trial, there was Edgeworth, there was Gregory Edgeworth, like, there was so many stuff. But with him, it's just like a cat happened. And now he's doing that. But he's like, what who are you? Who are you? He's
stealing Kazuma's life. He stole the sword. He stole the UK opportunity. The fact that he has to complete what Kazuma wanted to do and never told him. Babe, it's none of your business. Like, you don't have to find out. I'm sorry. Shut up.
Very true.
So, yeah.
On that note.
We've been bitching for an hour non-stop. Like,
we were ranting.
I don't have to do any work editing this.
No.
It's just literally us. Like, we haven't put a sock in it. A sock. No. Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. Thank you for making it to the end of our rant.
Yes. We'll see you pretty soon.
Yeah.
We're back for Uni for our usual programmation.
Yes.
And hopefully a hot take soon.
What is our first episode back gonna be?
Probably the week after the first week back.
But what?
Oh.
Do you want to do shits and giggles?
We could do shits and giggles. That would be a good episode back.
Like as a little
Let's do that. A little treat for viewers.
Okay. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. We hope you liked our hot take.
Yes.
And we'll see you very soon.
Love you.
Bye, everyone.
Have a wonderful new year.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.